It used to be the American dream to buy your first home, but a lot of Americans in today's age, just millennials, we can't afford our first home. Let's go ahead and dive straight into it.
How can we afford an $80,000 house? Very simple. Over 30 years, just a trifle down payment, and a pittance of a mortgage, and 2 living parents with a pen. Who can sign?
So that clip was from Boy Meets World, and that episode aired in 1999, and I couldn't help myself, so I had to run the numbers. The show took place in Philly, and I saw that the median house price was around $80,000 in 1999. Now, Corey and Topanga were high school students without a job, so they couldn't qualify, but what about the median household income back then? It's $40,000, which is about $3,300 a month, and a 3% down payment on the median house was only $2,400. So somebody in Philly in 1999 didn't even have to save 1 month's income to put a down payment on this house. And the interest rate...
Listen, you know how many months of income I have to save in order to put a 20%, 30% down payment on a house? Half my year's salary of not spending a dime to put a down payment on a house. They could do that in a single month. That's crazy.
Were around 7%, just like they are today. So with principal, interest, property tax, insurance, and private mortgage insurance, the total payment was $750 a month to get the median house in Philly. And you're making $3,300. So that's about what, 25%? So a family making 40 grand could take care of their entire mortgage in just 1 week. And then I wanted to see, well, let's just see what happened to the prices in Philadelphia, because we know the averages around the country, but let's look at Philly. $80,000 was the median price in 1999. It's now $250,000. So below the average for the nation, but the income was $40,000 for the median household. Now it's $60,000. So the housing price, even in Philly, went up over 200% in the last 25 years, but the income only went up 53%. So even in smaller cities, metro cities, no matter where we look, I don't think I have found a city in America where the housing and income was even close to keeping up.
Let's go back in time to buy a house.
Listen, hey, he owned one. Listen, there's not a city in America where from the 2000s, 1999, from the 90s, that the price in housing has gone up 200, 300%, right? Especially in major cities, going up 250, 300% in major cities. And then your pay only goes up 30, 40, 50%, at most 100%, right? So a family back in 1999, dual income, making $40,000, could afford a down payment on a house in just a single month, right? In today's age, 2025, dual income, if we're bringing in $50,000 per year, $60,000 per year, but the average price of a house is $350K, $400K, $500K, it would take us forever to put a down payment on that house. And they said it was $750 a month in mortgage. But you know what I would do if I had a $750 mortgage bill right now? I would be balling out. But yes, the American dream for so long has been to buy a house, start your family, right? But to the next generation, we are most likely starting off, let me tell you how the cycle goes. We're mostly starting off in apartments. Apartments with roommates, a condo with a roommate, a house with a roommate, and then maybe a house or an apartment with your wife or spouse or anything like that. Maybe. I highly doubt that there's a large percentage of people out there that's single that could afford a house to live on their own. There are people out there that can do that, could put a down payment on the house, first time house buyer payment on their own, but that's a very small percentage. Back in the day, everyone, you made it once you were able to buy a house with your family, start a family with your house, 2.5 kids, white picket fence, stuff like that. In this age, that does not exist anymore. Let me know if you can afford a down payment for your house and to live in a house on your own down in the comment section, or would you need some help with a roommate, or would you just live in an apartment in a condo on your own? Let me know what you would do down in the comment section. And go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, because that helps out this channel more than you guys could possibly even imagine. You guys got me to 1,000 subscribers. Let's go ahead and get it to 1,250 subscribers. Let's see if we can get it there by the end of the month. So let's go ahead and check out the rest of these videos.
In 1983, I'm an average person looking to buy an average house. I got this average degree, which I got for free, and work an average job. After paying tax and rent, I have...
After paying tax and rent, he got $12,000 in disposable income.
If I save 50% of the remainder, it'll take me 2 years to save up for the 20% deposit. Remember that as we head back to 2023 and I'm still an average person looking to buy an average house.
So it take him 2 years to save up in 1983. Today, it would take me forever. So let's go ahead and continue. The average home cost in 2023 is $920,000. Can't be the average home cost. I don't know where he living. He might be in LA. That sounds more reasonable in LA.
Got this average degree and I have an average job. After paying tax, rent, and HECS, if I save 50% of the remainder, it'll take me 10.5 years to save up for the 20% deposit. It's clear that it's not just lazy, layabout young people sipping latte that's causing the problem. It would take me 84 years to save up enough money if I skip having a latte every day just for the deposit. I don't have 84 years left. In 40 years, the average house price has increased by 14 times, whereas full-time salaries have only increased by 4.7 times. Another way of looking at it is houses used to cost 3 times your salary, and now they cost 10 times. All things being equal, you'd have to be making $300,000 a year to benefit from that same 3 times ratio. You might be thinking $90,000, wow, that's high. It is. That's because CEOs and vice chancellors taking home millions inflate the total pool of income and skew the average high. If we look at the median, that is the figure in the middle of all figures, that's around 48,000. So if you're making more than that, you're making more than 50% of all working people in Australia. And still, housing is so far out of reach. There's something bigger at play here. It's going to take me a bit longer than one video to explain. In part 2, I'm going to explain the cause, and part 3, the solution.
Hey guys, one thing that caught me in that video is that he said that in the 80s, the cost of education, he said he got a degree, a college degree, next to $0. It costed him no money to get a college degree. And we all know that it costs so much money in today's age just to get a degree just to get $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 job, and that $60,000, $70,000 job a year is not going to be able to help you to afford a house. With a $70,000 job, it would take you 10 years to save up half of your disposable income just for a down payment on that house. That would take you 80-something years of penny pitching just to pay off the house. Man, what has the dream come to? It's like that we want a house so bad that we are willing to become house poor. That we made it once we got a house, right? It's been the American dream for so long that you have been considered successful if you own your own house or if you have your own house. If you still stay inside an apartment, people are going to look at you crazy. If you still live with your parents, people are going to look at you crazy. You could be very successful and still live with your parents. You could be very successful and still live in apartments, but there's some people out there that say, I need to get out the house. I need to be viewed as being successful. I'm going to buy a house, and then they end up becoming house poor to where over 50% of their income goes straight to the mortgage of their house. And don't be no first-time buyers. Don't be a first-time buyer and not know that your mortgage is going to increase year after year unless you know how to use the system. But a lot of people are so eager to dive into buying houses when the housing market is against us. It used to be a three times what you brought in to own a house. Now it's 10 times what you bring in to own a house, and people are still just trying their hardest to own a house. Don't do it on your own. Even if you have a spouse or a roommate, to own a house is still going to be very expensive. Do not become house poor. Speaking of house poor, let's take a look at this video.
Have you ever wondered what house poor looks like? I'll show you. I'm in my kid's playroom. That's right, we have a whole playroom for the kid. But I'm eating pot noodle for lunch because that's what we can afford. What with all the maintenance work and so on and so forth.
Hey, I told you, if you house poor, you're going to have a front yard, backyard, but you're going to be eating noodles and starving for quite some time because that's literally all that you can afford. Let me know down in the comment section, are you house poor right now to where your mortgage and rent takes up more than half of your monthly disposable income?
A lot of people cannot make progress financially because they are house poor and they probably don't even know it. Being house poor is when you own a home that you cannot afford. What does that look like? When you have a payment that is a very big percentage of what you make monthly and all you can afford basically is to pay the mortgage. By the time you cover all your house expenses, you are basically left with nothing. I think it's important to talk about this because people are under the impression that as long as you own a home, you're winning. And that is not the case. If you are owning a home stressed out because by the end of the month, you have nothing left, you cannot afford that. That is what we call you bought too much house. With your monthly income, you should be able to pay your mortgage, set money aside, invest, basically still have a life, right? And not feel like you're drowning and not feel like you can't breathe. The biggest, smartest way to do this is waiting to buy a house when you are ready. Not when the pressure is, when are you going to buy a house? When are you going to buy a house? Oh, everyone buys a house when they get married. Why aren't you? No, you need to buy a house when you're ready. Doing this when you're ready looks like this. You should be debt free. You should have an emergency fund, and you should aim to have a really good down payment. 5, 10, 15, 20% down. And that will give you margin. That will give you breathing room. That will make sure you are doing this the right way. So don't let anyone pressure you into this. Buying a house is the biggest expense you're ever going to make, at least for most of us. Make sure you're doing this the right way.
Yeah, she's right. Basically, guys, if you do not have enough money left over after paying your mortgage bill to invest, right? To invest inside anything, invest inside yourself, invest inside your business, invest inside the stock market or real estate, anything like that, then guess what? If you go inside of that house without anything to have left over to invest, then guess what, guys? You're going to be house poor for forever. The only way to get out of that situation is to invest your money either inside yourself. That's the best thing that you could possibly do is to invest money inside yourself. Me, personally, I invest inside myself. And then second is inside of the stock market. As you guys know, I run the Dream Green Show. I talk about investing all the time. You guys can check out that channel over there. By the way, I'm going to give you guys a link down in the description to Moomoo. If you signed up right now to Moomoo, right now they're offering you guys up to 30 free stocks just from signing up and depositing money inside that platform. And you're going to get an 8.1% cash sweet interest on your uninvested cash inside of your portfolio. So even if you're scared of the stock market and you just want to park some of your cash over there, you can earn 8.1% interest on your cash that's just sitting inside that portfolio. That link is going to be down in the pinned comment section and also down in the description. But yeah, guys, what she says that you need a very good income, you need a very good down payment, and then you also to have a little safety net, you do need to have some savings inside of your account so that anything can happen at any given time. So you want to have a good savings income and a good down payment so that you do not become house poor. But if you spending more than 50%, 60% of your check to where you don't have anything to invest at all, it's going to come back to bite you. Listen, because if you're not investing your money, how are you going to make more money? You need to make your money make money for you. If you're putting all your money inside of a house that you're probably not going to sell for 30 years, 25 years, you're never going to become rich or get out of being house poor. You want your money working for you right now. Invest inside the stock market, invest inside real estate. Unless you're planning on living inside the house for 2-3 years, for 5 years, and then selling it, moving out to another house. You need to have a plan to go in to not be house poor. If you're overpaying for a house that's more than 50% of your income, you need to go in with a plan. But don't let anyone rush you into it just to try to fit the American dream.
I like expensive things. This is no secret. When I decided to move to Manhattan in September, I knew I was not going to be able to afford a 1-bedroom in a luxury building. And I did not want to live in a little small place with cockroaches. I'm like, I've worked too hard for this. That's not what I'm going to be doing. Positive thinking. It's not going to happen. What ended up happening then is we turned a huge 1-bedroom in a luxury building with amenities, rooftop, gym, all that, into a little 3-bedroom. Actually, and one of the little rooms, it's like literally tiny. It's like this big. You like cannot barely even walk in it. That's our living room or office. And then I live in 1-bedroom with me and my boyfriend. And then the other bedroom is one of my best friends from college. So it's literally a sitcom. And we split the rent divided by 3, obviously. So it's definitely quirky and weird. And that's what Bloomberg interviewed me about for their article they were writing. But I highly recommend it. Like if you are dating someone and they really get along with your best friend, or if you have a best friend and you really like their significant other, do it. As a first apartment to be in Manhattan, to be able to be in a beautiful place, so worth it.
Bye.
So, I mean, she's in New York, right? But to have roommates, have someone to help you pay the bills. But she picked a 1-bedroom apartment to have 3 roommates, her boyfriend and her best friend, to come in there to help her split the bills. But that's what it has come. If you don't want to be house poor, find a boyfriend, find a girlfriend, help you split the bills. But a 1 bedroom into 3 rooms, 3 people living inside of 1 bedroom, that's kind of tough right there. Hey, that'll help us split the bills. She's going to stay in a nice place. Dividing up a mortgage of rent by 3 definitely helps a lot, but she not gonna be house poor, I tell you that. Let's go ahead and check out this video, y'all.
Single parent is a bad idea. I'm a single parent who bought a home and I am thousands of dollars in debt. I thought that buying a home would be the best thing for my daughter and I. I didn't take into consideration property taxes. My mortgage went from $1,400 to $1,900 in 2 years. I'm in debt because I had 3 water leaks. Not only did I have to pay the rise in property taxes, but I had to pay for the maintenance in my home. I definitely believe that home ownership requires 2 incomes. All of the things that I could do before I bought the home, all of the things I could provide to my daughter before I bought my home, I can no longer do. I am what they call house poor. If you are a single parent looking to buy a home, I hope you have thousands of dollars in savings. Equity is cool and all, but when it comes at a price, I don't think I'm willing to pay it anymore.
If you go inside a home, you better be prepared. Like, that's why the other lady said you need to have a savings account, some money put away when you go inside to have a home, just in case anything happens. But honestly, you should have insurance. If you have a house leak, water leak, that should be taken care of, especially if it's a new build. So you don't want to be overpaying for your house. And the last lady that was living in New York, she's overpaying if she was living by herself, but she got 3 roommates to help us out. But speaking of overpaying, guys, if you don't want to be house poor and you're making a certain income based off of your job, then you might want to move out of a major city inside of maybe a smaller town outside of the major city that could be more affordable. Or you might want to pick up and move states, or it might get you a hut. $1 million in Texas can get you the whole block, a castle with a moat going around it, and you put a boat going around your moat, just chasing around your gators and everything like that. Listen, $1 million in LA is not $1 million in Texas, because I could buy the whole block in Texas with $1 million. So let's take a quick look at this last video right quick, and then we'll dive into it. This is
$1 million home. Living room. First bathroom. First bedroom. Family room. Dining area. La Cucina. Second bedroom. Primary room. Second bathroom. Large backyard with 2-car garage.
That's embarrassing. What $1.2 million can get you in LA? That is a $180,000 house in Houston. You know what? The inside was nice. I'll give it that might be around $180,000 house in Houston with a little bitty backyard. Listen, 2-car garage. Every car come with a 2-car garage, bro. I could not live in LA. I tell you what, I live in Texas, and for $1.2 million. Listen, if you're making enough to buy a $1.2 million house in LA, you might want to pick up and move to Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, any place, Austin, out here in Texas, and you're gonna feel like a king. I'm telling you, king, queen, anything of the above. Multiple story house, multiple car garage, big backyard, pool in the back. $1.2 million. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're gonna be house poor forever, living in the hut. If I'm gonna be house poor, I'm gonna be living in a mansion. They're gonna be house poor living in a hut, which is crazy. Let me know what would you do down in the comment section. Would you spend more than 50% of your income just to afford a house, or would you rather just stack up and save and live with your parents, get some roommates, live in apartments, live in the comments, live in a condo? Let me know what you would do down in the comment section down below. Guys, don't forget to pick up your free stocks to Moo. I'm gonna leave a link to them down in the pinned comment section. You click that, you sign up, you get some free stocks up to 30, and you can earn some interest on your uninvested cash inside your portfolio. But other than that, guys, thank you for making it to the end of this video. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button. That helps out this channel more than you guys could possibly even imagine. But other than that, I'm Zeke, bringing you Dream Green Conversations, and I'm out. Peace.